to make a move, whether it was another attack or something else. But they were moving, and as they began to move, things began to happen. What I also find fascinating to find out as we try to piece together what happened last night is that an officer was shot, we reportedly in his car. So that is an aggressive behavior. However, somebody carjacked, kept for 30 minutes, was allowed to leave. So that is not aggressive behavior. But that person may have been the one who told everybody about these suspects, who they were, where they are, and where to find them.
Yeah, and listen, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense, Brian, and we're going to try and piece it together as quickly and as accurately as we can. And there are a lot of moving parts right now. But bear in mind this, that police officer is dead. He was a campus police officer with MIT, and another police officer said to be severely wounded and trying to fight for his life now at a local hospital.
All right. Let me just mention this. This is coming into Fox Urgent right now, that according to a federal law enforcement source, the feds are looking into whether or not the bombing suspects, listen to this, may have been from overseas and may have had overseas military training. That coming in from Mike Levine over at the Justice Department. He's been covering this, of course, all along.
In the meantime, Bill, we want to jump over to Mike Tobin, who was in the middle of this chase, this scene in Watertown all night. He joined us live with the latest on the search. Mike.
And ultimately it started just a short distance from where the bombing was, about 10 minutes by car, the MIT campus. There was a robbery at a convenience store or a gas station out there. The police officer checking it out. Gunfire erupted. There's YouTube video. This is what it looks like.
There's explosions and gunfire going on down the street.
And bear in mind, in that exchange of gunfire, a campus police officer with the MIT campus lost his life. He was struck by a bullet. We also had reports that his gun was stolen. What followed was a high-speed, extremely violent chase about 5 miles to this location. Some of it done from a stolen Mercedes SUV. Throughout the process, explosives were hurled out the car at the pursuing police officers. Many police agencies descended here on Watertown. We saw the state police. We saw what appears to be National Guard, tactical teams, the Watertown police, Cambridge police, Boston police. A very volatile situation in which explosives, homemade explosives, were distributed around this little town. They remain on the street right now. One of the suspects, according to the state police, was struck here. We saw the ambulances speed away, presumably taking him to Beth Israel Hospital, where we now have information that that individual, suspect number 1, died of the wounds sustained here in Watertown. Suspect number 2, now originally the individual shown on the video in the pictures by the FBI and the Joint Terrorism Task Force as the guy wearing that white ball cap turned backwards. We believe now he's no longer wearing that white ball cap, particularly because the latest image released of him, presumably from that gas station, shows him wearing that gray hoodie. That is the individual who is at large. That is the individual considered armed and dangerous. Someone described by the state police as a terrorist who came here to kill people. He's at large right now. The people in Watertown here are being urged to stay in their homes, stay safe, stay in their homes, don't poke around. The police out there are very skittish right now, particularly with all the explosives around. We've seen a number of police cruisers speed by our location with a great deal of aggressiveness. So still very much alive and active, a dangerous scene here with one very dangerous individual still at large.
Right, Mike, it's just amazing. The shootout was going on not in Afghanistan or Iraq, but this is in a neighborhood with this type of firepower and these houses so tight together. It's amazing there weren't more people in the middle. But stay right there, Mike, because